speaker is Dr. Amit Agrawal, and the topic is the case for an Indian indexing service, learning from Norwegian model. The moderators are Raju, Vaishya, and Dr. Dinu, Chandran. Please come.
Dr. Agrawal, can we introduce you first so that the gathering knows who is speaking? Thank you.
Dr. Agrawal has completed his neurosurgery training from AIIMS, Bangalore in 2003. And he's a very self-motivated, enthusiastic and research-oriented professional. And he has more than 22 years of rich experience in research and development, as well as teaching and mentoring in the field of neurosurgery. And is proficient in managing and leading teams for running successful process operations, and has experience of developing procedures and service standards of excellence. And he's an avid researcher and published more than 1,000 articles in medical field covering various topics in national and international journals. And his expertise is in identifying training needs, designing training modules, and executing the same while working with limited resources. And he has excellent communication and presentation skills, and we are very excited to listen to you on this topic.
Dr. Agrawal, welcome. And he will be speaking on the case for an Indian indexing service, learning from Norwegian model. This is a fascinating topic that bridges two distinct approaches to knowledge management. The concept of indexing services is vital for making information accessible and discoverable. And today we are exploring how India can learn from Norwegian model. And we look forward to hearing from our esteemed speaker about what an indexing service is and what makes the Norwegian model unique. Additionally, what are the primary challenges facing an Indian indexing service right now, and how does Norwegian model specifically addresses one or two of these challenges for us? Thank you.
Thank you. My apologies to all us. I am not used to introduction, just come and speak. So, respected chairpersons, my teachers and my colleagues, very good afternoon. Just what I have made only few slides, and I would like to have the opinions and guidance from all our senior teachers, those who are sitting here, because it is not at my level I should be able to address, because it's a much bigger task that as the editors, all of us to do together for our nation. So the Indian medical landscape is expanding with increase in faculty postgraduate training related publication requirements. As we have discussed since morning, that we are in continuous need of continuous publication. Maybe more than 1 lakh publication we may need for various either faculty requirement or to submit to the various PhD programs or certain postgraduate training needs. And there is a need for a national mechanism to ensure innovation and address the gap between publication requirements and quality journal availability in Indian context. That should be cost effective, where we cannot keep on increasing the APC and all those models. We have to develop that to our needs. So all has been discussed. NNC mandates publication in index journals for the faculty, which are necessary for promotion, and the indexing agencies may vary from PubMed, Scopus or Clavariate based. The current guidelines has almost complete dependence on overseas indexing portals for medical journals to avail NNC or any other recognition. Since morning, all our learned teachers have told on this topic that we have all the mechanisms which makes depend on all foreign agencies, no our national guidelines for that. So how that thing where we are dependent on foreign indexing agencies, how it is impacting our landscape. So what is happening, the high quality research often submitted first to international journals. That creates, and the Indian journals receive second tier submissions impacting content quality. So what happens next? We were struggling for submission and good quality submission. So what is the outcome is, this initiates a never-ending vicious cycle for societies and editors to try to provide content for their journals to get indexed, whereas authors are inclined only to publish in already NNC recognized journals. So what is happening to get the high impact and indexing things? The articles are going to international journals, and as an editor, all of us are struggling for the second tier submissions, and where the entire quality is being compromised. Foreign reviewers won't review it, and we don't get reviewers, and ultimately we compromise on the quality of the scientific contents, and it limits on our citations and impact factor, and it's a vicious cycle for that. So the long-term challenge is this hails the fundamental concept of fostering the development as well as opportunity for quality improvement in indigenous medical research, which is originating from India. Our own work is not available to our journals and to our population, and we are sending the scientific contents also, and we are paying also for that, and then when it is coming back, again we are paying for that. So what is the proposed national framework for medical publishing under umbrella of NNC or any other team? Whoever wants to lead at the top can have its own indexing database or reinitiate the INDMED under whatever maybe the portal again. This portal shall categorize all journals based on their progressive indexing, as we have seen in the previous slide also. And what we can do, we can have all the journals under one umbrella, and we can give certain stars, 5-star journals, 4-star journals, 3-star, 2-star. But like they have done for JCI, every journal which is being there, they will get an impact factor. Then you make the Q1, Q2, whatever you have, you made for our country. That portal shall recognize new journals based on their academic merit, the genuineness of the Parental Society Association, EIC, what Dr. Sunny has already discussed in detail, and the regular review. As we are doing for others, let us do for ourselves. Regular review of journals and dynamic upgradation of the journal based on available matrices like impact factor or inherent mechanism, what we develop as per our needs, because our contents, what we publish in our journals, may be of no interest to the Western world. Like we publish some tribal area population, certain demands, it is of no use to them. But for us, it may be important, and if it won't go to international journal, and our journal won't be treated like a good scientific platform. So to fulfill this, first of all of us have come together, and the stakeholders can be the government bodies, funding and policy support, academic institutions, those who should recognize that mechanism, and the encourage faculty publications, publishing houses, those who should adopt ethical practices, and the cost-effective publishing platforms and low-cost models to publish high-quality journals. Already in our Indian context, we do have such mechanisms. And the researchers, those who contribute quality research and follow guidelines, and those who electively submit to our own journals, automatically when we get the indexing and our own recognized journals, I don't think that people will go to the international journal, because APC already is so high there. So it can be development as a strategy. First, we can have a task force kind of mechanism where all the stakeholders can do brainstorming kind of thing and propose a plan and the framework. Develop central repository and guidelines like electronic databases and the data capture mechanism. Most of the journals, those who are submitting the data, Scopus, Embase or the Medline or PubMed, we can enforce them to put those data in our databases also, because the database fee is same. Our publishers, even the scientific scholar, everybody is having that matrix what PubMed had defined, because they are putting data there. So we can capture in our own databases. And for a selected journal, we can make a pilot framework with selected journals where we can have certain journals, those who are indexed and those who are not indexed, and when we can make some common data elements, and we can put the things together. And once we pilot and let everybody agree and this matrix shows some output, we can do the full-scale implementation and monitoring. So what will be the expected outcomes? The increased indexing of Indian journals, as journals will progressively will develop, because we will be retaining the quality content in our own country. Improved credibility of Indian medical research, what we tell is fake. See, like somebody told, the teacher has to guide. But for that somebody has to beat, that is okay. But unless we put the all contents and we categorize why you are doing this wrong, how you will improve that person. So we have to tell, okay, you are in Q4, you have to come to Q3 or something, you have to make these changes, and then they will be having certain parameters at Q1 and Q2 level, so they can compare, no, I have to do like this, if I do like this, I will be a better person tomorrow. And this thing in picture, the faculty and everybody can fulfill their publication requirements, whatever is being defined in the either INIs or in the NMC or wherever they need for interview or anything. And ultimately this will reach to the, like China has made one big platform, 50% from Asia. So we don't have any reason, so we should be lagging behind from them. So we'll get the global recognition, visibility. So I'll just stop here and just look forward rather than I speak, that all of you just give some thoughts with the permission of the chair so we can carry this discussion forward. I just put the model there and just put some thought what I felt may be good.
So, may I start? May I start first?
Yes, sir.
First of all, please explain what is this Norwegian model, because it is often cited for its collaborative governance, and how could a similar structure be adopted in India, considering our diverse linguistic and cultural landscape?
To be very honest, I didn't read Norwegian model, because we have to come out of all those things and we have to have our own system. What we face, if we have to make our own new things, we want a thing which should be at par with PubMed or Medline, and the main issue is they want data, they have a data frame and they have a certain criteria too, and it's all available on the internet, and almost all senior editors and all our senior colleagues, they know it. So rather than going behind some other model, let us use experience of our own people, and because they know the national needs also. We should do some homework and we should do a new thing. The data, if we have data, automatically we can analyze with different metrics.
But you know, creating such an indexing service require significant long-term investment, like Norway might have done it. So how do we find such sustainable funding models?
For that only it is important. PubMed is not being made in a one day. How much US is funding those things? We have to, now the government of India is putting so much fund in research and everywhere. If we have to retain this research in our country, some part of that money has to be invested in these systems. Otherwise, it will never happen. And I think we have to push for it, or somebody has to take initiative. I think if we put as a combined, all some 20 or 30 editors, if we put a proposal to the government of India, like Dr. Professor Saman Singh, he is there, he can take the lead, he is very good research, I know him, and I am standing here because of his blessings. He is so harsh to me, and I am getting the fruits of that. So all of us, if we make a proposal and put to the government of India, all of our senior professors from different institutions, I don't see any reason that we cannot get 20-30 crore rupees.
I have a question little different. Like, this is a workshop what we are having right now. Has such a kind of workshop has been conducted previously in India? Like workshop on editors of editorial workshop. Has it been conducted? I think no. I was speaking to, yes sir.
This type of workshop, Chandran Nandi has done it in AIIMS, but hardly 15-20 people had participated in that workshop at that time. That is what I am knowing it, because many of the skills which I learned, okay, I have taken over the journal from 2004 onwards, various journals. So I know what means I attended when I was the editor-in-chief at JNRP. So it has happened. we regularly conduct such type of workshops in Jaipur. So probably many people may not participate in those type of workshops which we may be conducting in that sites.
Just to take it a little forward, like I was speaking to the organizers this morning, what is the mileage of conducting such a workshop? And the beautiful answers I have got. Now the point is, most of us are in the same line, we are thinking like that. And Scientific Scholar is planning to have such a kind of workshops in future also. Now this is the right time that when we have all got together, we need to appraise instead of presenting as a group of editors. Now this is a platform has been created. We need to write a white paper, give a suggestion to the Government of India, like through a forum, such a forum, or still a bigger one. For example, right now is the number of registrations what we look at online and offline, even more will be there who would be interested to join and to create. I mean, today morning what we said is one nation, one subscription. So such a kind of a model we have to suggest to the Government of India, which would take us, and that will take care of the predatory journals also. They will be weeded out. And unfortunately, the academicians, what they are facing, like you pay the money and at the end of that you don't get nothing. So that can be a solution. Okay, at the right time, Dr. Dogra is here. Yeah, sir. You wanted to say? Yeah, yeah.
All right. So thank you, and thank you, Dr. Amit. I think this is a great idea that that the others also contribute and share their views. I fully agree with you that in the morning also we have been discussing multiple times. Unfortunately, I disagree that PubMed is spending 20-30 crore and we can have the similar kind of platform. It is not. I think budgeting we have to do. It is not a easy task. There is no willpower from the. I am sorry to say so, but Government of India must have willpower first, like China government has. I am not praising China, but it is the fact is fact. If those who are reviewers or the editors for some international journals, these days the share of China in the publications article they are submitting is more than the European countries. So they are next to America. So, and how much effort, they are not, the whole fees is paid by government institutions. Every institution is subscribing, all journals, high journals. How many institutes are subscribing? Very few, like AIIMS and JNRP and all this. But most of the institutes, they are not subscribing. Means, other way, that author has to pay. And many of the authors, we cannot pay. So that is the situation. So huge budget. And ANRF and all these indexing things, we started in India. That is good. But nobody thought, or probably why they did not, think. Still, I don't know the reasons. The one nation, one subscription was a good idea, but why not? This promoting our own, it was not thought, because probably I can't say here, but many people, they know the reason. I will give only indication, because, I don't want to say. So that kind of things are also there. Sustainability, Amit, sustainability is most important. Sustainability, why I am saying that if you say the Scopus or Web of Science or PubMed, if you start, even though our engineers going in USA, they are doing wonderful job. But here, what is the speed of our internet? And when we are, whether you are, promotion is okay. Dr. Thapa also mentioned in the morning we were discussing that, all right, if we have IndMade or MedInd or something like that, we will get promotion, perfectly fine. But see the, flip-flop of our own government. Dr. Thapa's presentation and one question was there and he answered indirectly, but actually he conveyed the message The reason was that why our own system, the INMED when it started, HRD started with the help and then it was transferred to CSIR. CSIR was funding for few years and then they said, no, we don't want. We don't have money. Because they were not having. So dedicated 20, 25 years plan and plan should be there that we will be committed. We will continue for 25 years or 50 years or something like that. That is not there. So until otherwise there is a political will. It is difficult. I am little pessimistic, but I am saying with my experience and many other things we know in India how it works. For the editors, for the publishers, for the authors, it is a very fantastic idea, but I suspect that until otherwise we have political will, because there is nobody from the political means government side. Until otherwise we have a workshop where politicians or the decision makers, those who can give the funds and commitment. So commitment is important. You can give 3 years project, it will not go anywhere. After 3 years you are nowhere. Those who have, say for example, you index for 3 years in INMED, 4th year no funds. And these 3 years people, what will happen? They will go nowhere. They will be neither in the global scenario nor they will be restored here. So they will have no credibility. The linking, even though we can say that it is a good idea, self-respect and all these things, obviously we should be proud of our country. We are and we should be, that we should have in our own. But the question is that globe, we are living in the globe. And we have to have connectivity. And until otherwise we have connectivity so strong, our credibility of our indexing agency, the connectivity, internet and all these things, sustainability, all these things, quality control, the many of the issues we know that in India, we start up very nicely, but we don't maintain. It is whether it is a bridge or road or anything. And same thing if happens here. So maintenance and the sustainability is most crucial point, I think, in my point of view.
Yes, I fully agree with you. But the question remains, for such a big country with so much of growth in every aspect, we are sending man to the moon and we are sending unmanned aircraft to Mars. So there is a disconnect between one side and the other. So I do agree with you. Government of India did have INMED because nobody maintained it. It went defunct. It still exists. So government is one opportunity, but you look at small country like Norway. There are Lalia, this small country is in Latin America. They have their own indexing service. There is a need. Why is there a need? In the morning I mentioned there is a Indian English today. Our authors are not able to publish because the English what is being followed or taught is no more our mother tongue. When I grew up, I wrote perfect English because we had the waning effect of the British Raj. Now the British Raj is gone. Now the Hindi Raj. People want to write in Tamil. People want to write in Hindi. So we need to have a dialogue. And then, if not the government, private. We can have a non-profit. There is a lot of money in this country. Maybe somebody wants to name it Mundaram Indexing Service in the name of his father. Who knows? But we have not broached the idea. This whole purpose of this is to bring up the idea. And then Of course, we have genuinely, as Rakesh from AIIMS Urology who spoke, he is on the ICMGE and all that, he spoke correctly that we don't have accountability and plagiarism and all that happens world over. But the question is, who is the biggest shareholder? We are the biggest shareholder. So there are reasons for that. I want promotion, then I need to publish. Whether I publish with Omnix or with anybody, department doesn't care. Department wants to see DOI, thank you very much. You are promoted to professor. So why can't we have our own simple agency? If not government, private. We have thrown the idea out. I have no money, but whatever little I have, I'll be more than happy to put it to that cause. But we all need to come together.
I think we should, seriously, I am not joking, we should propose to Adani sir.
Sir, whether it is Mr. Adani or Mr. Ambani or whoever, but I know, I'll just give you an incident of Ambani's. I respect them a lot, but when it comes to giving them money, they will not give them money. They are Pushti Margi.
They want money.
Pushti Margi means they are followers of JNRP. So if you go to Bombay, they have a Reliance Cultural Center. So when they get those Pishwai made, they don't want to pay the artist. So in our culture, people would pay
But for return.
for the mandir, for the shadi and the makan. Maximum charitable, one payout outside the road. So we do not have the giving culture. We have Warren Buffett has given away all 70 million to Bill Gates Foundation. Not a single penny to his children. So I'm just floating the idea. We all can combine, but we will continue the dialogue. We are open to listening it. My interest, I grew up here. I owe something to the country. I need to give back before I kick the bucket. So we just share an idea. It's not an end, it's not a closed discussion, it's an open discussion. We'll continue the discussion. Like you said, maybe Adani, maybe government, maybe anybody. Since we have the idea, then something will materialize.